What do you think? Did England lose the final, or did Italy win the final? My opinion is that Italy and England had their own advantages, right? So Italy had a coaching advantage on the field and off the field. And Italy also had a brain trust advantage. So, and let me explain what I mean by that. I think Mancini is a better coach than Southgate, and this has been proven by both their careers. At a club level, Mancini has a superior record. He's coached better clubs, but also you get good coaching jobs, for good clubs by being a good coach. So that's not his fault that he's coached at good clubs. I mean, of course, he's had some failures. You can't coach as long as Mancini has, and not have some failures. And Southgate has also got his documented failures. But I think England and Italy, definitely Italy has an advantage on the coaching in terms of like on the sidelines. They also had Daniele De Rossi, who had played the game at the highest level. I know that Gianluca Vialli was not a coach, but he was on the bench. He was part of the brains trust. And then there were a couple of other guys that I didn't know about. But Italy, and they all looked older too. Doesn't mean older necessarily means better coaching. However, the faces that I know on the Italian bench, I know that those are people who have done and played the game at the highest of levels, right? Looking at the England side of coaching, they had Chris Powell, and they had I don't have the first name, but the last name Holland, and they had several other people helping behind the scenes who had worked within the England setup, within youth level. Now let's go into the on-field coaching and like the brains in the game. I think Italy's seniority in terms of like careers and caps gave them an edge whenever there was going to be a tactical struggle between England and Italy. I think England was going to be inferior, not because the boys who play for England don't have the IQ to develop to the level of some of the Italian leading players. However, they're not there yet. England had too many players not too many, I mean, you are where you are, and if you're good enough to play at any level, you're good enough to play. But what I mean is, England had players who were earlier on in the development of their process. If you think of the starting 11, for example, Pickford and Donnarumma, okay, you can say similar level, even though Pickford is a little older than Donnarumma. Donnarumma has been playing at top level football for much longer, since age 16. So again, it's part of an important brains trust. And then if you look at the back four of Italy versus the back four of England, yes, Kyle Walker is a better defender compared to the Italian right back, I think De Lorenzi. And then the two center backs, Italy wins the battle in terms of experience and coaching on the field, even though I think at this day and age, Stones and Maguire are better defenders, like in the physical side of the defending. But as we know, the art of defending and the game of football is as much a mental game as it is a physical game. And a lot of the time, the mental side is what gets you through, as we saw later on in the pens. So, left back, England had the better left back. However, this is where I think Italy won most games, is the back two central defenders with the three midfielders in front of them, and then Donnarumma. That's the spine. And the three midfielders, you could have taken any combination, but I think Verratti and Jorginho are crucial to that team. And if you ask me, who is better between Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella against Mount, Rice, and Calvin Phillips, I would say the three English young men are more athletic, more pacey, more powerful, but the Italians, again, if it's going to be a tactical game, the Italians have an edge, because they got these quarterback-like midfielders, and they're very good. They're just, next level if you think about it, and that's where I think England probably suffered from having to play those three guys against the three that I just counted for Italy. And then up front, England had, I think, a better strike force. but Italy had most of the ball, and I think this happens because Italy Italy has an advantage because England scores an early goal. If England, it would have been interesting to see the game be 0-0 for at least the first 15, 20, even 30 minutes. Because I think England actually started the game really strong and hit Italy hard. I don't know if they would have been able to sustain that level of, you know, pressure on Italy like we saw Austria and Spain apply on Italy in the earlier rounds, because England had played 120 minutes of football the day after Italy had played their 120 minutes of football. So I wonder how much scoring that early goal played into Italy's hands, because England had to protect a lead and lean into their own strength of being very, very good on the ball. Like Italy being good on the ball and England being very defensive. So, that's a very interesting thing, but we will never know, because England did score an early goal and then they set on the goal, because they are a team that does trust their defense. They've been very good, and there was no reason for them not to trust their defense.